guys, what's going on? Today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. This is episode number 19 of your Safe Distance broadcast. Today on Cooking with Mr. York, we're making steak. Got the grill set up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And we've got to make sure our grill is, ooh, that's nice and hot. It's about 80 degrees outside today on Friday. Hope you're having a good time. Congratulations, you made it through the first week of school. And we had some pretty good meetings this week. I was actually really pleased with how things went. I'm working on a new series on photography, so if you guys are interested in learning photography, doesn't matter who you are or whose class you're in, what age you are, it's really made for everybody. There's questions to be answered at the end, so if you're part of yearbook and you're looking to do more with that next year, if you're just somebody who has a camera at home you haven't really known how to use, I'm going to start putting the links to those episodes down in the description on this channel. It's actually on my teacher channel, which is just Scott York, as opposed to Chaparral Newscast. Our first step is to make sure that the grill is nice and hot. It's always a good time to clean your grill when it's hot. I should have cleaned mine before now, and if you look down in there, it looks like I need to clean out my under grill pan as well. But right now it is nice and hot and ready to go, and that's what we want because we want to sear in that steak flavor. Now the marinade we're using today is a combination of soy sauce, spices, and brown sugar. And that's my favorite personally, but you can do whatever you like, or, you know, don't marinate at all. I don't care. Once we got the grill nice and hot, we got to make sure that our steak is room temperature. This has been sitting out for about a half an hour. You don't want to put a cold steak on a grill. That's just kind of crazy. I got my tongs, and let's get something going. Oh, we're missing one thing, and that's we got to make sure that it doesn't stick to the grill. It's good to use some kind of non-stick grill spray. I don't think you're supposed to do this while the grill's on, by the way. Safety-wise, you probably don't want to do that. But that's why I teach computers. I'm not really authorized to teach cooking. Okay, seriously, the fire truck just showed up. Now you hear birds tweeting, that's not what we want. This is the sound you're supposed to hear when you put a steak on the grill. You ready? That's searing in that flavor. That's what you want to hear. DVP students, you should be asking yourself, hey, why is Mr. York filming this way? Obviously, I'm the darkest thing in the scene. The brightest part of the scene is over here, right? How do we adjust that? Well, we can adjust it in post like this, and then things are better. But actually, what would be better is if I frame this a little bit differently. You could cook a steak in a pan if you're going to make steak and eggs for breakfast, but it's really better on the grill, and it's healthier too. Now, how long you want to have the steak cook on each side is really up to you, and it depends on how you like your steak, of course. But in general, you don't want to flip it too much, but you also don't want it so that it burns. This is going to take a little bit, so while we're waiting for our steak to cook this morning, check out this segment from CCNN's own Mia Artale.
During this crazy time, I have been reading a lot. One of the books that I read is called Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. It takes place in North Carolina in the 60s. Over the years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have been going around Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the coast of North Carolina. All of a sudden, popular handsome Chase Andrews dies, and the whole town suspects that Kaya Clark, the Marsh Girl, did it. But Kaya is intelligent, sensitive, and survived on her own for years, after her family left her. I didn't want this book to end. It conveyed a really good message to not judge a book by its cover. Because most of the people in her town thought of Kaya as a marsh girl and that she was poor and that she was a little weird, when in reality she was a really good person throughout the whole book. I loved the mystery and how it ended. I believe that it was one of the greatest books that I have ever read.
Thanks so much, Mia. That was great. A salute to you. You guys don't know what I'm drinking. It's Lipton mango iced tea. There is so much sugar in this. It is delicious. And it reminds me that you guys might be hungry too. Still cooking my steak. But since we're doing food as a topic today, I want to talk to you guys about some places that are still open around Diamond Bar. The other day, and I'll give you my recommendations too. The other day, I went and checked out L&L Barbecue. Oh man, spare ribs. I believe it's number 11 on the menu. So good. And if you didn't know this, they actually make macaroni salad there, which I'm not a fan of macaroni salad, but theirs I could eat all day long. They actually put little bits of tuna in it, which is amazing, especially if you get like a little extra protein in with your carbs, if that's your thing. So L&L Barbecue over in Walnut, check them out. You can order online or call ahead, and then you walk right in and pick it up. That's a cool place. Pyology, right next door. This is interesting. Pyology actually has a brand new pizza crust that's made out of chicken. Just think about that for a second. They took a chicken and somehow made it into a pizza crust. It's smaller. It's only about like that big, but very good. Tastes like chicken and pizza at the same time, and extra protein. So if you guys really like protein, there you go. Other recommendations. The other day I went to Spicy Kimchi Roll. I don't know, you know what the place is. It's right next to 7-Eleven in the same shopping center next to Domino's Pizza. Really cool place. That's where I watch all my K-pop because they have it playing 24/7. And you can get bibimbap there too, and bulgogi, and everything else. Annyeonghaseyo to all of our Korean friends watching today. And I got the rainbow roll the other day, got it to go, took it home. I normally don't like the idea of having sushi to go and bringing it home, but tasted great, enjoyed it in front of the television. That was kind of fun. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. It's beautiful here. There's a plane flying overhead, which is why it's so loud. To my DVP students, this is why we wait when you hear a plane overhead. I don't have anybody else I'm working with right now, so there's a good example for you. Look, I'm teaching and cooking at the same time. Don't forget to join me here on Monday on CCNN's Safe Distance broadcast. It'll be episode number 20. Wow, that'll be fun. Don't forget to get a yearbook. If you want to know if your steak is done, remember, all you have to do is take your pinky and your thumb together. If you put these two together and feel right there on your palm, that's well done. That's the firmness that you should have. So you kind of feel that, and then you feel the steak, and you're like, that's about what it feels like. That's well done. This, oh wait, no, sorry. That's, wait, yeah, that's well done. That would be medium well, medium, and that's medium rare right there. So it's a little bit different, and you can feel it. And like that's the texture I'm going for, is that feeling in your palm right there. Medium rare. Remember that when you're cooking a steak, you want to rotate it a quarter turn every time you flip it. And that way, that's how you get those grill marks going one direction and the other. You have to stop cooking or take your steak off the grill and let it set for a little bit. Let it rest for about 10 minutes. Because your steak is going to continue to cook. So you almost want to undercook it from whatever you want it to be. So if you want your steak to be medium rare, right? You really start feeling for that firmness. And as soon as you've got it, pull it off. So let's check it out. It's been sitting here for a little bit. That marinade is so good. This is in New York, but I feel like you could do this to a sirloin as well. Hey Cougars, this has been Cooking with Mr. York. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to join me again on Monday when my guest will be Chuck Liddell, and we'll be talking about the future of the NFL. Sit, Coco, sit. Good dog.